My boss kept stealing my work for 2 years until his competitor said, "Come work for us." Now he's blowing up my phone. I watched in shock and anger as Damien, my boss, presented yet another one of my projects to the entire executive team. "This innovative client acquisition strategy I developed will transform how we target Fortune 500 companies," he announced, clicking through slides I'd sent him 4 days ago. My slides, my 3 weeks of research, my exact words coming out of his mouth. The executives were impressed, congratulating Damien on his brilliant insights while I sat in the corner taking notes. Damien always knows exactly where the market's heading. He smiled and accepted the praise for my work, while I remained invisible in the room. It was supposed to be just another Monday, but then my phone buzzed with a surprising LinkedIn message. It was from Camilla, CEO of our biggest competitor. "That strategic adjacency framework you presented at the Chicago conference was brilliant. I know Damien probably took credit for it internally, but the industry knows who really developed it." My chest tightened because someone had actually noticed. Someone had seen through the facade. She continued, "I've been following your work for months. That predictive analytics model you built, the one Damien presented at the quarterly investor meeting as his baby, we reverse engineered parts of it, and it's genuinely groundbreaking." Her next message made me stand up from my desk. "I want to meet you for coffee tomorrow. Bring your real portfolio, not whatever watered-down version Damien lets you show. I have a proposition that matches your actual worth." For the first time in 2 years, someone saw me as more than Damien's silent shadow. I made sure everything was perfect, including which suit I picked, before going to the meeting with Camilla. And oh boy, she didn't waste any time with small talk at the coffee shop downtown. As soon as I sat down, she slid a formal offer letter across the marble table. Senior vice president, salary literally double what I was making, plus equity, a signing bonus that made my eyes water, and most importantly, my name on my work. She pulled out her tablet, showing me their company newsletter. "Look, this is how we credit our team members. Full attribution, always." The contrast hit me like a physical blow. 2 years of watching Damien receive standing ovations for my ideas, 2 years of being introduced as Damien's associate who helps with implementation, had certainly taken its toll. But now I had a chance to show Damien that he'd made a mistake in turning me into one of his victims. I folded the letter, put it in my pocket, and stood up. "I'm going to take the weekend to document every single thing he's stolen. Then we'll talk terms." Camilla smiled. "That's the strategic thinking we want." The next day, I was reviewing Camilla's offer in my cubicle when Damien appeared in front of me, his face unusually pale. "Hey, I heard you had coffee with Camilla yesterday," he said, attempting to sound casual but failing miserably. His eyes darted to my screen where the Camilla's company logo was visible on the offer letter PDF. "You know," he continued, suddenly animated, "I've been meaning to discuss your promotion. You're so valuable to our strategic initiatives." "Valuable? Last week you introduced me to the clients as your note-taker." His hands actually trembled as he continued, "Come on, that was just a joke. I was just telling the board how essential your contributions have been." I stood up, matching his eye level. "Interesting timing, Damien. What changed between last week and today?" He stammered. "I've always recognized your talent." "No," I cut him off. "Camilla recognized my talent. You're just scared of losing it." You see, Damien knew that if I left, he would be left with nothing because all his work was just stealing what I was creating. So he immediately called an emergency all-hands meeting, trying to do damage control. "I want to publicly recognize someone who's been instrumental to our success," he announced, gesturing to me. "Our strategic framework that landed our biggest account, that was actually developed by our brilliant strategist here." The room went silent. Jennifer from finance said, "Wait, I thought you created that, Damien?" His smile turned rigid. "I've been mentoring this incredible talent, and it's time they get proper recognition." He was sweating now, rewriting history in real time. "I'm recommending an immediate promotion to senior director with a substantial raise." The desperation in his voice was obvious to everyone. He looked at me like a drowning man reaching for a life preserver. I stood up slowly. "Damien, for 2 years you've presented my work as your own. The predictive model, the strategic adjacency framework you trademarked last month, all mine." I pulled out my phone, showing the email thread where I'd originally sent him every idea. "I've documented everything with timestamps." Damien's face went ashen. "My resignation is effective immediately. I'm starting at Camilla's company as senior vice president, where my name will actually appear on my work." The silence was deafening as 30 people finally understood who had really been driving the company's success.